Hello, hello. I am so glad that you're here today, because today is the day that we're planning for a new month. My name is Carla. This is Art with Katie. Welcome back to the channel. I hope that you're doing well wherever you are. I was telling you it feels like it was yesterday that I filmed the video for the plan with me for March, and it honestly took me a while to get that to you here on the channel because March was a very interesting month. I was telling you that February wasn't that kind to my family. We had a series of health issues that happily they're getting worked on, and they're gonna be, I don't know if the word's resolved, but we're gonna be fine, right? But March was actually the month in which some of our family decided to come and help. And it was just wonderful, and I'm so thankful. I feel so grateful because when you're down and you're feeling that things are getting complicated, then suddenly you get such a surprise. You get family relatives that send you, the messages, the calls, and of course, then we had these relatives come and visit, and it was so wonderful. First of all, I rarely receive people here at home, not because I don't want to, but because people rather not come here where we live because of, the situation that we face here in this part of the world. But I'm always happy to receive family. I love having relatives close to me. I love having people come and visit, and I love being a hostess, even though I don't think I'm the best hostess, but I do try. And having them here for 10 days was just wonderful. It was long conversation, probably just a few hours of sleep a day because we were so excited to be able to have this time together. We haven't seen each other for the last 15 years, so it was just wonderful, and I'm so grateful. And even one of them, Chewy, brought me some markers that I'll be trying with you pretty soon, as soon as I can, because I am just so excited to try them out and to see how they work and how they look in my bullet journal. But before I do that, because I'm trying to get everything going as it should, I guess. Just my plan and my things are just having those set of setbacks regarding the health and visitors regarding a very happy moment in our life sometimes throws you out of your rhythm, and that happened to me. So I'm trying to catch up, and I decided just to first plan for April and then go for the rest. So in this video we'll be planning for the month of April in our bullet journals, and the theme that I chose, and it might be not a surprise because that I love anime and I love mangas, but it's not one that I talk about a lot because I just been starting to watch it recently, which is Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is one of those series that people kept recommending me, from my friend Diana at school that kept telling me just to go and take a look at it because she knew I would love it. But sometimes I guess I don't have enough time to watch everything that I want to watch and do and read and enjoy. And I kept it in mind, but just not paying a lot of attention. Then another friend, a co-worker as well, Caesar, started wearing certain accessories regarding the series. I'm like, okay, that looks familiar. He was like, yes, Demon Slayer. And I'm like, oh yeah. And then suddenly, I don't know what happened, because this school year, I've seen so many of my students wearing kimono clothes and stuff that are related, of course, to Demon Slayer. And I'm like, you know what? This is a sign that I should just not watch, but maybe do some art with Demon Slayer. And because my son and I have been watching it together, and April is his birth month, and usually in April I do something that he likes and we enjoy together, I decided to just go for it and do Demon Slayer as my theme for the bullet journal in the month of April. So I am happy and I am excited, and I hope that you really like it. In case that you're wondering, Demon Slayer is the story of a couple of brothers. There's this boy named Tanjiro that suddenly he's, in charge of his family. His father died, and he's the one that has to go. They live in the mountains, so he has to go to the village and sell charcoal, of all things. He sells charcoal to support his family. And there's one night that he just couldn't go back because, it it was not the best moment for him to go back home because it was dark and there was like, I think, a storm coming or something. And then when he finally got home, he sadly found out that his family has been murdered by a demon, right? Because in the period of time that they lived, that right now I can't remember, let me tell you, it's the Taisho era in Japan. So anyway, there's demons. And demons just went to his house and murdered his family. He thought everybody was dead, but he finds his sister, his younger sister, that she's alive. But sadly, she has been, infected, let's say, and now she's going to become a demon. Netsuko, who's his sister, suddenly shows that she's not, I guess, a bad demon. I don't know how to say it, but she's showing emotions, and she's showing that she has some sort of self-control. So even though everybody tells him that he needs to kill his sister, and the only way, by the way, to kill demons in the series is by decapitating them, but Tanjiro is like, you know what, no, I'm just gonna find a way for her to go back to normal. Somehow he has faith that he's able to find whatever way he needs to transform her sister back to normal. So with that in mind, you see how he goes, and they keep telling him to go and become a demon slayer, so that way he'll find a way to reverse whatever's happening with his sister. So hopefully I didn't give you a lot of spoilers. The series is quite good. I have been enjoying it. I haven't finished. It started, I think it came out in 2016, and they ended the story in 2020. And I think it's like 23 volumes of manga. So I have not read the manga. I'm watching the series on Netflix, and I've been enjoying it a lot. So the idea is that I'm gonna, because it's not just the era that I love. I love Japan, and I keep my head with the mindset that I'm gonna be there and go and enjoy Japan soon. And I'll let you know if that happens and when that happens, because I want it to happen this year. So of course, something that has Japan there in the mix is something that I'm gonna love. And besides that, the drawing, the way the characters are drawn, the backgrounds are drawn, it's very interesting, and I especially like the patterns that they have. And I especially like the patterns that they have in their dressing and in the textures that they use and everything. So I'm gonna see how I adapt something of what I see in those drawings, what I see in those patterns, into my bullet journal, and it's gonna be fun. So just get whatever you need to start planning with me. I'm gonna be using markers. I don't know if I'm gonna be using watercolors, but let's see what we do, because I know it's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be really interesting to see how we adapt this wonderful anime into our bullet journals. I'll see you at the end of the video. So here I have my materials and my notebook. And as you can see, I opted to use Prismacolors. They've been calling my name, and I thought of using them for the cover, and I didn't end up using them for the cover. I used markers, alcohol markers, but I did use them in my layouts. This is very new, probably not the best material to choose, because you have to, use a lot of force, press a lot to varnish them and make them look so pretty and bright. But I love how it came out, and hopefully you do too. And don't forget that in the description box there's a link to download your monthly calendar. As I was telling you during the intro, I recently started watching the Japanese anime called Demon Slayer. It is a Japanese manga series written and illustrated by Koyoharu Gotage, and it is about Tanjiro Kamado, a young boy who becomes a demon slayer after his family is slaughtered as his younger sister, Netsuko, is turned into a demon. I wasn't sure, what the hype was about it, but now that I started watching it with my son, I can certainly understand why everybody's so in love with this series. Just after watching the first episode, I really got hooked. First of all, the theme song is awesome. And if you're interested in Japanese pop music, I'm sure you're gonna like it. The title's called Gurenge, and it's by Lisa, a Japanese singer and songwriter. And there's the English version that you can even find in YouTube. If I find the link, I'll leave it from you as well in the description box. Before I continue, you might notice that I'm doing something a little bit weird with my Prismacolors, which is that I sharpen them and then I use the pigments, that are left over from sharpening the pencil, and I'm using a cotton ball and even my fingers to just mush them over the surface, because that gives a very nice, very subtle color in the pages, and I don't have, to just destroy my fingers while trying to press every single thing on the page. I just thought you might like the hack, and hopefully you can do it on your own. It's very easy, and I love how it looks on the page. As I was telling you, Demon Slayer takes place in Taisho era Japan, where a secret society known as Demon Slayer Corps has been waging a secret war against demons for centuries. The demons are former humans who turn into demons by Musanki Butsuhi, injecting them with his own blood, and they feed on humans and possess supernatural abilities such as super strength, powers that demons can obtain called blood demon art, and regeneration. And before we go to the following layout, I just wanted to point out that Netsuko's pattern was the one that I struggled with the most. I don't know why, it seemed simple enough, but it just gave me a hard time, and I hope you can see it and appreciate the effort that I made. What I'm finding most interesting about this series is that Demon Slayer has things that no other anime or manga has offered so far, for me, from my viewpoint. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about that. For example, it's very highly rated by both critics and viewers because of little things like this. The show does many of the classic things major shonen do, telling a surprising human story in a supernatural format, having remarkable choreography, keeping up a good pace, and balancing comedy and seriousness. But something that's different is that there's also grounds in the world of popular 5 shonen shows that have only been explored by this series, which I'm finding fascinating. As I told you before, Demon Slayer is set in Japan's Taisho era. As such, it has historical aspects that are quite accurate. For example, the settings and plot lines are inspired by daily life at that time. The background art is just beautiful, and not to mention the soundtrack, which uses traditional sounds and instruments of the time. This also gives the show a certain artistic value, with a beautiful atmosphere brought together by historical relevance. In this story, demons can only be killed if they are decapitated, as I told you before, by only using special weapons crafted from an alloy known as ninchiri, injected with poison extracted from wisteria flowers or exposed to sunlight. The demon slayers, on the other hand, are entirely human. However, they employ special elemental breeding techniques, known as breeding styles, which grant them supernatural strength and increase resistance, helping them fight against demons. The strongest demon slayers are known as Hashira, and gain this rank through either killing a member of the 12 Kitsuki, who are the 12 strongest demons under Musen, or killing 50 demons after ranking up multiple times. As you know, many of the main characters in classic shonen are based on common stereotypes of the genre. This can be quite positive as it makes a large cast of characters easily recognizable. However, the downside is that some tropes have become annoying to see on screen because they have been overused and not very, well executed. But in this series, in Demon Slayer, these tropes were taken and presented in a way that doesn't seem bad in the least. For example, there's, this crybaby that has this comic relief character first, but then they give him a truly kind and strong side of low self-esteem that he becomes both relatable and interesting, and I haven't seen that before. I found it quite refreshing, to be honest. Another common flaw of major shonen is that the villains aren't truly empathetic. Like, often villains are not only stereotypical but also very plain, very two-dimensional. Other shonen have succeeded in making villains that are interesting, fun to hate, they have a compelling backstory, but you don't see them come through in anime. However, every demon in this series is turned into one from a place of suffering and vulnerability. And the show makes sure they remind us of the fact after every fight. Now, in this particular genre of anime, there are two ways to showcase relationships. The first and most common is friendship, right? We've seen it through a lot of anime. And of course, the second option is showcasing romantic love, which is left often in shonen, but there's usually a prominent romantic plot, like a secondary plot that we see there. In Demon Slayer, while having some themes of friendship and romance, it's honestly about the siblings, about that brother and that sister relationship that Tanjiro and Nezuko have going. It's the most important throughout the series, time and time again. Not to mention that there's so much consistency. There hardly seems to suffer of problems of filler episodes. There's no unnecessary or throwaways. Even in between action sequences, this series can bring its quiet moments to the screen in a way that isn't boring or irritating. And now, I haven't seen the movie, but what I've heard is that it is extremely high quality. The pacing is still consistent, the stakes were high, the fight choreography was excellent, and the ending left the audiences sprawling. There are no other major series around to make spin-off movies this impactful. And this is why I chose Demon Slayer as my theme for the month of April. Thank you so very much for joining me today, planning one more month in our bullet journals. I really hope that you enjoy it. I try to bring always something different into the mix, something that I think you're gonna like, something that I think you're gonna appreciate, and something that, of course, brings joy to my heart. I have many different themes in my bullet journal. You can see them in my playlist, but I try to do art history, I try to do pop culture, I try to do songs, and as you saw today, I also try to do anime, mangas, and anything that inspires me to do a little bit of art in my bullet journal. If there's anything that you'd like me to show you regarding productivity, regarding organization, just let me know, because I love to help you out in this journey, as well as if there's anything that I can show you thinking of art techniques, you just leave a comment down below and I'll make sure to not just respond to you, but to see how I can make that video that you're requesting. If you're liking my content, please share with someone that you know is gonna love it and appreciate it. Of course, that I appreciate all the thumbs up that you can give me, because they always help me, not just to see that you like the video, but also because it helps me reach more people like you and me that like to do a little bit of art and bullet journaling, organization, and whatnot. And of course, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing, because I just want this channel to be a moment, to be an area, to be a space for you and me to be able to work our art, to work our bullet journals, and just to find that balance in our life that we all need and love and appreciate. And I guess that's it, and I'll see you soon in the next video. And in the meantime, keep creative, keep safe, and always be kind. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Please like and share my video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.